Hello, friends, and welcome to Runnah, running on Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and beyond. I'm your host, Juliana, and today we have a very special little mini episode, pew, 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 which is very exciting. This week is one of my favorite weeks out of the entire year as I'm recording this, which is the Cape Cod Marathon weekend. Yeah, I'm so excited. So I know a bunch of you are probably running either a marathon soon or have run a marathon or some bigger race or a half marathon or something. So I wanted to come on here really quickly and give you a few mantras to use, because one of my favorite things and something that we talked about in episode 3 of the podcast with Dr. Nicole Davis was mantras and just things that you can tell yourself while you're running that can put you in a better mindset. Unfortunately, some of those things did get cut off from the episode just because there was some technical issues. So I have some of my favorite mantras for you guys today. So that way maybe you can take some of these weird little things that I say to myself, or Julianna-isms as I call them more or less, and maybe use them for something. I will say I'm going to swear at least a couple of times during this, so if you don't want to hear any swears, then don't listen to this. But it's nothing crazy, but I am going to swear a little bit. So here we go. First one, and we'll just start off with the one with the swear because, you know, this is probably my favorite one, and this is the one that I feel like is the most Julianna-ism-ish out there that I'm going to share today. And that one is chuck it in the fuck it bucket, which pretty much means just do it. Just get out there and do it, because it reaches a point where you just gotta get out there and do it. You can ruminate on it as long as you want. You can fadoot around as much as you want. You can procrastinate as much as you want. But sometimes the only thing left to do is chuck it in the fuck it bucket. And it's fun too, because every time I say that to myself, no matter how negative of a mindset I am in, it makes me chuckle a little bit because it rhymes and it's whimsical. It's a whimsical phrase. And it's just fun to say. And I will be getting a fuck it bucket tattoo on my butt at some point, because that's the only place the fuck it bucket should go. But chuck it in the fuck it bucket is the first one out of our repertoire of Julianna-isms. The second one is something that I like to tell to myself when I get like overwhelmed and I forget to do basic bodily functions, which includes breathing. And that is, breathing is fun. And we like to have fun, right? So just remembering that you should be breathing, just keep breathing, just keep doing it. And breathing is fun. We like having fun. So why not breathe? Let's breathe. Breathing is a fun time, you know? And one of my other top favorite mantras, and something that I actually already have a tattoo of on my arm, is you can only run the mile you're in. And this pretty much just means that you can only be in this one exact moment. You can't be in the previous moment. You can't be in the next moment. You can't be in any other moment. You can only be in this one. You can only be in this mile. So you might as well just accept where you are and just work on acceptance, which is one of the hardest skills in the entire world out there. And never in my living years do I plan on becoming a master of acceptance, but I plan on becoming a utilizer of acceptance as I try to practice every day. You know, no one is perfect. Acceptance is probably the hardest thing and the hardest skill out there. But accepting the mile that you're in. It can be a good mile, it can be a bad mile, it can be an indifferent mile, it can be a spicy mile, it can be a sweet mile. It doesn't really matter exactly what the mile is. It's just accepting that you are in that mile, and that is what that mile is going to be. And like I said, I have this tattooed on my arm, and some days we have days where Juliana's arm is smarter than her brain. So that's okay. It is what it is. And you can also have days where my arm or the mantra or something else is smarter than your brain, because, you know, it happens to me more than I care to say. But, you know, it is what it is. And the last one I want to give you guys is just something that makes me smile, because one of the things that I like to do, and I have some other Julianna-isms that we'll get to at another point in time, but one of the things I like to do is steal things from people. And I mean like steal either mindsets or little phrases or things that remind me of people. And one of the things that just makes me smile that I've stolen, quote unquote, recently is from my dude Alex, who is someone who worked with us over the summer. at the running shoe store and is a recent high school graduate, is whatever generation that is, and has all these weird things that he says that are way out of my purview of phrases and slang that I know. But one of the things that he was teaching me, because he was teaching me some of the slang, was skibbity-riz. And to me, that is just like so fun to say out of my mouth. And one of the things that I like to do now is, one, I've stolen that phrase from him. And two, I'll just say skibbity-riz, which just means relax and have fun, Juliana. Just saying that just saying that while I'm running reminds me that I'm just out here having fun. Like skibbity-riz just means just like have fun. Skibbity-riz. Like if you say that a bunch of times, you're having a nice time. Just try saying skibbity-riz in like a silly, either in a regular voice or a silly voice, and you are going to have a nice time. So, and that just helps me to relax a little bit and just be like, skibbity-riz, I'm just out here having fun. So those are the phrases that I have for you guys. So if you are running the Cape Cod Marathon this coming weekend, if you're running Chicago this coming weekend, if you're running New York coming up, you're running any other marathon, you've got the Bay State Marathon coming up out here, just remember, chuck it in the pocket bucket. Breathing is fun. You can only run the mile you're in, and skibbity-riz. And we'll see you next time on Runnah. Thank you for listening to this episode of Runnah. This podcast is edited, hosted, and produced by me, Juliana Coughlin. Brought to you in part by the Falmouth Running Club and the Falmouth Community TV station. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at RunnahPod. And you can send us an email at runnahpod@gmail.com. And our original theme music was brought to you by the one and the only wonderful Jeffrey Hutton. And keep up the great work. I'm proud of you.